Hi, and welcome to heaven. This is Raquel Loud,
Julia Kibilda.
and today we have a special romantic episode for
La, la,
Saint
la.
Valentine's Day. Ta-da-ding, ta-da-ding,
Yeah.
ta-da-ding.
Birds singing, rose petals flowing, hearts
Yeah,
everywhere, little angels shooting the arrows. Yes.
and kill us in the end. So I want us to point out that today I am drinking red wine. Why? Because my parents listened to our podcast, and my father got extremely offended that I was drinking rosé the last time. And he was like, Raquel, why are you drinking rosé? Like we have bottles in our house. And I was like, well, I didn't want to, as I said in the episode, I didn't want to open a bottle on purpose. I would use whatever was in the fridge. And he was like, Raquel, you're giving a bad name to our household. If you need to drink wine, open a bottle and drink it. So I am here to say that I am drinking red wine, and it's a wine from Douro, 2019. And I don't want to bring dishonor to my family on my family's
Oh my
name.
God.
So it was important for me to tell you what I'm
I
drinking
love
today.
that. Your dad supports us.
He
He
does, he does.
is part of the heaven mission, honestly.
Yes.
Okay. I'm drinking I'm drinking some orange wine that's from Germany, and it's actually very good. I don't remember the name, and the bottle is not here, but it's very good, and I recommend.
Right. We love a completely blind recommendation.
Like any orange wine. I am the stereotypical orange wine lover who will throw it onto everyone in every single possible setting, even when it's not appropriate.
It's a lifestyle.
It is. By the way, speaking of that, this does not link to our episode. I mean, maybe it's a cute date spot actually, but I found that there is like this new restaurant slash wine bar in London that's literally called like Orange.
Ooh,
And so I am hoping they sell mostly orange wine.
should be. Or at least the same vibe as an orange wine would give.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to check it out. The
Yeah.
date idea for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, here we are, like already
There you
strike.
go. If you need some recommendations, let us know.
Yeah, Julia's like, there's this wine, I have no clue who it is, but it's very good, recommend. There's this place that I've never been, very good, recommend.
Hey, but I've seen it recommended, and a lot of places that I've been to and that I like also give a shout out to this place. So it must be good. I trust them.
All right. So I actually would like to start by with the news that Miley Cyrus won 2 Grammys for Flowers,
I know.
which is very cool. And I thought it was actually very fitting for this episode because not only we had our like fucked up moment on episode 3 about like the fact that it was released in 2023.
You
And
know,
we're like, and me saying, oh, I would definitely like listen to it again around this time. And boom, we have a resurgence of flowers with her winning the Grammys. And she's saying, go buy yourself some flowers this Valentine's Day.
exactly. Remember, girls, if you don't have anyone like me, buy
Mhm.
yourself some flowers. I literally have some flowers on my table right now. Yeah, recommend it. Anyways, Valentine's Day. What do you think? Where do we even start? Like, maybe, okay, let me start by saying I really dislike Valentine's Day. So, this whole episode, from my perspective, is going to be very skewed because I just don't like it. I don't know. Obviously, probably part of it is because like I'm slightly bitter because I've literally always been single on Valentine's Day every single year, even when I've been like dating and in relationships. Raquel can vouch that like every single Valentine's Day before Valentine's Day, something goes wrong. I am single again.
It's
So
a curse.
exactly. So I might be slightly biased, but I don't know. I just think it's very like commercialized and fake, and you should just love people all year, every day, and not just on one day.
You see, I've been single for most of my life, so I've also spent most of my Valentine's Day not doing anything. But I also never really cared that much for Valentine's Day. So
Yeah.
even when I started dating and actually have a relationship, we still didn't really care about Valentine's Day. Like, it's not really a big thing in my life. But on the contrary, I also never felt sad about it either.
Yeah.
I do understand people getting sad on this date because if you keep, obviously emphasizing relationships, couples, all everywhere around you, of course, you will start feeling a bit bad about yourself. But I actually never really did. But I think the reason for that is because in school, we had a classmate where his birthday was on Valentine's Day on the 14th.
Yeah.
So we usually would just celebrate his birthday, and we would also just always make jokes with him of like, oh, we got you a girlfriend this birthday. I hope you enjoy it and stuff like that. Like it was just always for fun. So I never really had that much appeal, neither like the other side completely of being sad
Uh,
on Wednesday, which
I
is
get that.
good for me. But yeah, it was
I
just a thing.
Yeah, I think it depends. It's quite cultural as well, like how different countries celebrate. Like I remember in Poland it being like quite a big thing every year.
Mm.
It felt like a big thing. And oh my God, speaking of schools, I don't know if you had this fucked up thing, but like in Poland at school, we had this thing called like Valentine's Day post. So that like you could send Valentine's cards to like other people from different classes or like from your own class. And then on like Valentine's Day, they would like carry them and like give them away during class. And so obviously like me and my friends would like also like write to each other and like, even like when we were kids, like in primary school and stuff, you would always like write to your friend or whatever. But there would always be this one kid that would not get any card. And I
Oh,
always remember that like fear that like, oh my God, you're gonna be the one kid that's not gonna get like any card. So I think like my hate and like, well, maybe not hate, but like my disliking and like this negative association of Valentine's Day kind of like stems so like back in time from that. Because I think that's like so fucked up. Like, why would you do that? I don't know, like it's a good idea in principle, but then it obviously emphasizes if like someone doesn't have friends in class or whatever. And I don't know, I just think it's very sad. Or like you should at least have teachers or like someone else write, because obviously it's anonymous, so you don't know who the card is from. So like write for like everyone so that no kid feels left out if you're doing that, if the school is recognizing something like that.
yeah, true. We had something similar as well. I do remember like in Valentine's Day, like you would all get around and we all start like making DIY cards or drawing or writing. But we usually would like switch around. I think I was lucky in the sense of like our teachers, I think they were way more aware of those things. So it would be like but this was more in elementary school. It was like within just that one class in the
Yeah.
first place. And then they would pair people up. So you would always give one
Okay,
card to
yeah.
someone, but you can always make more to like your personal friends, but let's make a card to one another and like draw a card and stuff and give it. So it would be like, I draw a card to you and you're the one who writes it to someone else. So you always getting a card and it's like a whole like collaborative thing, which is quite cute and it was better. But on that note, I actually saw this article on how Valentine's Day is mostly propagated when you're a child more than you're an adult
Huh.
during those like greeting cards things. So I think it's really a more worldwide thing than we
Yeah.
think of making those greeting cards as like every holiday has like some kind of DIY project for the kids at school and how it is through there that you like propagate this and you start the alienation if you don't get any cards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it
That's really
starts creating that
interesting.
idea.
That's really interesting considering that, like, I mean, you actually properly celebrate Valentine's Day when you're actually like an adult because you're in a relationship or whatever. I mean, or like, I guess like a teenager, because when you're an adult, like, I mean, I wouldn't really care for it now. I think it's just a day in the end. But yeah, I think in those like school years, it's such a specific thing. I don't know. So weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for us, it was even like in high school. I remember we even had like a flower post thing, like, and you would have like a ball for Valentine. Like, there was a lot of things associated with Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but
I don't
always
remember it specifically, but it's like a lot of stuff like in that school setting, which is so weird to me because you only have, I don't know, like two or three class relationships, or people who are the high school sweethearts or whatever. And then the rest of the people are kind of just like whatever.
Yeah, but it's always like that, isn't it? Like it's always these for such a small holiday that's not even a proper holiday, like I don't know,
Yeah.
Easter or Christmas, but you actually have a day off and it's like you can actually go and celebrate that. You don't really celebrate it with Valentine's Day. Yet I actually saw in like some statistics from 2020 on a survey they did to American people that 83% of people surveyed were more excited about Valentine's Day than they were for Christmas,
That's
which to me,
crazy. What the
which to
fuck?
me is super crazy because I don't know, like Valentine's Day is like and Christmas is like the best holiday in the world.
Exactly. That's insane. But yeah, I think, obviously like it's only one day. Obviously for Christmas, like more people celebrate it and it's kind of like a very popularized holiday, even if you're not like religious or anything, a lot of people celebrate the holidays like just because it's holiday season. Whereas for Valentine's Day, it's like a very singular, like one day event. So the lead up to it has to be massive for it to be like profitable. So, you'll see like all the advertising and all the marketing surrounding it is so, so strong. And it's also such a specifically branded holiday because, it's like everything's pink, everything is cute, you have hearts everywhere. And it's so easy to like marketize that, I think. And
Yeah. I
and
mean,
that's why
love,
like the lead up is so strong.
yeah, I mean, love is very easily marketable and is marketable to us in any other time of the year, all the time, through everything, shows, reality TV,
Yeah, I mean, literally anything. Even if you see like an
anything
ad for
really.
a fridge, is like a happy couple looking for a fridge or like a vacuum cleaner. I don't know.
Yeah, so Valentine's Day is almost results at this like epitome or like pinnacle of that love advertisement
Yeah,
type
that's
in a way. At least what it feels like. But I would actually say, like, Valentine's Day actually does feel to most people quite modern, even though actually it isn't. Because,
no, it started like 14th century or something. It just
yeah,
was like a religious thing. It wasn't even a holiday. But then even like it became like a love symbol, like I don't know, 18th, 17th century or something like that. So it's quite
yeah,
old.
it is old, but then everything we associated with it now, it's not old at all. So all of our like emblems for Valentine's Day, that is like, I don't know, gift giving or these cards or roses or chocolates, all of those are less than 100 years old. And that's what defines Valentine's Day today.
Yeah.
So everything that came before, we don't do it, even the religious part. Nobody knows who the fuck Saint Valentine's who is. Nobody knows what he did. But everybody knows in Christmas, Christ was
Yeah.
technically born. So it's kind of like the reason for me that I think there's more people hating on Valentine's Day than, for example, hating on Christmas. Because a lot of people who also don't like Christmas. But to be fair, I feel like haters just like to be haters anyway. But I think is our relation or resemblance towards that religious like background in
Yeah.
quotation marks is not as present. So everything we have that defines that holiday to us is extremely modern. So it feels more fake because it doesn't have a very ancient tradition as it technically has. Besides, it exists for a very long time, but it's not been associated with love since like the 1900s is when we came. That's like last century, mostly with
Yeah.
love. So it was just a random saint, like there was nothing really much to it. I think actually originally it was as Christmas was like a pagan festivity that was appropriated by the church and saying, no, guys, you guys are not
As they
celebrating.
do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, guys, actually, this place you're celebrating right now of the forests and everything. No, no, no.
That's
That
not
was
it
and
anymore.
that was a saint here, and this is his day, by the way, from now on. And that's kind of how it went.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's very largely like a product of sales people, to be honest. I mean, everything around Valentine's Day revolves around buying things, going out to dinner, and doing all of those things that result in you supporting the capitalism. Oh my God, I sound so you're supporting the capitalism if you celebrate Valentine's Day. Anyways, jokes aside, yeah, it's like a very commercial holiday, I think. And don't get me wrong, I love cute stuff with little hearts, and it's super adorable. And I love me some flowers and pink, and it's all great, but I think it's a bit much.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, the lobsters. Can we
Yeah,
talk about the lobsters?
I was literally just going to bring that up because again, like I've never heard of the lobster thing until I sent you that reel of the Flying Tiger's newest collection of for Valentine's Day of all lobster themed stuff and saying you're my lobster. And I was like, is
What
this
is
a new What is this? Like, is this a new thing? Why are lobsters all of a sudden so romantic? And I have no clue. I had no clue. I was so lost. I was out of the loop. No cultural context. I didn't know. I had to research to learn that it was actually a Friends reference.
Yeah, and apparently lobsters were believed to like mate for life. That's why they became like a symbol of love. But actually, like scientists found out that it's fake news and they don't.
Yeah, but there's the point. Like, it doesn't matter, does it? You know what I mean? Because
No, now it's like a cultural reference and it works.
Because for those things, I always thought about, I don't know, like lobsters are not even the only ones who do it. Like I've always known swans to mate for life to the point that
Yeah,
like if and the other swan like dies for some reason, the partner literally dies of depression. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, it's so sweet and sad at the same time. But and swans, I no offense to lobsters, but swans are a bit cuter for
true.
romance, I guess. But then lobsters are red, so it's better for
It
marketing.
fits. It fits. See, there you go. It's the perfect example of how this is used into being something profitable. It's just amazing, honestly.
Yeah, so like, and then this thing, the whole thing of you're my lobster or he's your lobster, she's your lobster, became an icon of Valentine's Day so quickly and so easily. And it's so, of course, everything is made up when it comes to the tradition, but I don't know, like a tradition that's made up in the last 10 years doesn't really feel the same as something that's been done for like 100, you know what I mean? And I think that's why people just feel like a bit fakery, but then they just buy into it anyway.
Yeah, I've seen so many ads after you send me that. Like, it literally popped up on my Instagram everywhere on like the promoted things. So I've seen a lot of lobster plushies and lobster pajamas.
I have to give it to the power marketing house because I never thought a lobster could be cute ever in my
And it
life.
was.
And and there you go. They created this lobster plushie, and I'm like, that's cute. I would have that. And I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Oh my God, that's so funny. No, I feel like a Valentine's Day is such a weird day. Also, find it super weird to like go on a date on Valentine's Day when you're
Like a
not
like a
dating
first,
someone.
yeah, like a first or second date.
Yeah, when you're like not official with someone, because I find it so awkward because then I feel like everyone assumes you're like on that like Valentine's Day date. You know what I mean?
Have you done that?
No, I've never done that just because I find actually maybe I have one. I'm not sure. I might have done it once, but I just in my head it feels so weird and awkward because I feel like
That's a bigger pressure, no?
yeah, and I feel like it might be like misinterpreted, you know, that like it's something more than it is. And then like
So
everyone else around you is like on Valentine's Day dates, like you know, you go out to like a restaurant and there's all the couples doing like cute dinners
now,
and shit.
honestly, I see that scene in a rom-com. I wouldn't mind seeing it, to be fair.
Right, you know, like you're in a restaurant and you see like all of those like candle lit, like little cute restaurant, and you have like all these couples that have been together for years celebrating that Valentine's Day, and just this like one couple that's like second date, just met, trying to make a conversation like, hey, what's your favorite color?
Also, can we talk about that thing of like you'll be my Valentine? Because if Valentine was a saint,
You'll be
and
my
if he and if you wrote to you, he's a priest, okay? And he wrote to you, your Valentine, I'll be kind of worried, you know? That's not that romantic. I mean, church is not very known for their romantic gestures towards others, are they? You know, like, can we talk about that a little bit? Because that ain't romantic. That's actually predatory,
creepy. There you go.
to be fair.
Arrived at a conclusion that actually Valentine's Day is kind of creepy.
It's kind of creepy. I'd rather be called like I'll be your lobster, hun. And I'm like, what?
See, maybe that's why. Maybe someone thought the same as you, and they were like, actually,
Actually, no.
that's very funny.
When I was like keep on researching for today, I keep thinking that Valentine's Day is actually super similar to Christmas in so many ways, and I have a theory.
Go for it.
So, first thing is that remember when you said on our like Christmas special episode that for you Christmas has always been quite romantic?
Yeah, that's true.
And you're not the only one. Like I feel like I'm the one who's a bit different because of the culture that I was in. I never connected much to romance, but you, amongst a lot of other people, connect Christmas to romance, to even feel sometimes a bit sad to either be single or alone during that whole season because it's such a romantic season. First. Second, you also give gifts to your loved ones, as on Christmas, as you do on Valentine's. Red is a very important color in both of these holidays.
Bro, oh my God. Are you
And
gonna
it's
give
also
like another mindfuck moment?
and it's also common to gift chocolates at Christmas. So they,
I'm just silent. I'm processing this.
but to be fair, I think it makes sense in a way that the way we celebrate Christmas and the way we celebrate Valentine's, it's very similar. I won't say that like they're a copy of each other, but it's more like if we live in this pro to consuming society, of course, most of our holidays are going to be towards gift giving because that's how you buy stuff for one another. So that's like, I think to me, the major reason because they have two different origins, but they've both being appropriated by the church and they've both been like marketized towards it. So just like the lobsters now are like a tradition of Valentine's as much as Santa Claus is red because of a Coca-Cola ad back in like the 50s or something.
That's true. That's such a good theory, actually, that like it revolves around the idea of giving gifts and
Yeah.
marketizing it on.
I've also seen some people like taking Christmas decorations and transforming them into Valentines. I don't know, like wreaths on the doors, for example.
Oh yeah,
And
arts.
yeah, and they make like into hearts using like Christmas bubbles. And the thing is, when I look at them, I don't feel Christmassy. I do feel the Valentine's
Valentine.
vibes into it. So I was like, these so-called icons in quotation marks for each holiday or tradition are so easily transferable
Yeah.
because in a way they're all made up at around the same time for the same goal that is profit. So although the reason I think people hate Valentine's more than they do Christmas is first, the religious ancestry is not as strong. I mean, let's not compare Mr. Valentine's with Jesus Christ.
Not
Like
even close.
not even close. And second, I also feel it's more restrictive because while sure, Christmas can be like a more romantic season for some, but you still celebrate it with your family and friends in a
That's true.
more it's like the norm. Like you also celebrate Valentine's with friends, but it's the norm for Christmas to celebrate with friends, not the other way around. While
Yeah.
Valentine's very, very focused on romantic love.
Yeah, and then like Galentine's and stuff like that is like a sub-product of that in a sense.
Which I actually love Galentine's because
I
Galentine's
know, it's so cute.
Valentine's has much more the spirit that I feel Valentine's should have
Yeah,
than Valentine's actually has.
I know. Yeah, it's
You
like
know?
doing nice things with your friends and celebrating them and celebrating your connection rather than just, I don't know, going out to dinner.
Yeah, because that's what Valentine's should be more about. Like, I would love for Valentine's to be more about love in general and a more like celebration of love and loving others
Yeah.
instead of just couplings. And like, I'm in a relationship and I also found that like fastidious, you know what I mean? It's also exhausting. Like, relationships are a big part of our lives and of the human experience, but there's so much more to love than just that.
Yeah, of course.
Also, another thing that I would love to see Valentine's to be more of is to include more queer love as well. I
That's
think
true,
it's
yeah.
still,
It's still very heterosexual.
yeah, yeah, like the mainstream Valentine's is still very heteronormative. And of course, people celebrate it on their own, but the mainstream of what you see, it's very heteronormative. And I don't know, like if you're going to celebrate love, what's better people to celebrate love than queer people? Like, I don't know. I look at the pride parades in June and they're way more celebratory of love,
Yeah,
like true.
or like Pride marketing campaigns. I was just thinking about that. Like if you look at like the Pride month and like all the brands doing all of those like Happy Pride campaigns, and it's all centered on like love and couples and all of that. And you just don't see the same coverage on actual Valentine's Day, which is very interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You know, of course, that's like brainwashing, but like when you look into those and they're like so supportive of gays' rights, blah, 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 putting all those rainbows everywhere in clothes, in logos, in blah, blah. But then when it comes to Valentine's Day, which should be like a more universal love celebration, and we just see heterosexual couples everywhere and nothing else. So
Yeah.
besides, what's like more powerful than queer love? Like they literally defy all the status quo through
Yeah,
love. Come on.
exactly.
We're all missing the point.
The symbol is right there.
But yeah, I think even like celebrating love as an experience, or even, for example, I followed this girl on Instagram and she's super cute. She's like all pink, all outfits pink, and she's adorable and she makes a lot of like sewing videos and I like to watch. And she loves Valentine's Day, but she's not in any relationship.
Yeah.
And for me, that's also very refreshing. She just loves the idea of love. And for
Yeah,
me,
that's
that's so
nice.
cute. That's cute and nice. And it's way less pressuring than this thing of Valentine's Day is only for the ones that are in a relationship or
Very true. I also like think of it as like a day for like also loving yourself and stuff. So when I don't have any plans, I usually try to do something for
yeah.
myself and like take myself on a little date. Because I feel like there is like a day to remind yourself of that. It's like Valentine's Day, honestly. I feel like people don't really give themselves much love on like the daily basis. That's like the last thing you think about in a sense. And I think it's also really important to like take care of yourself in that way and like, take yourself on a little date and do things that are nice for you and just you. Like last year I went to a theater and it was very nice. I mean, were there couples absolutely everywhere around me in the theater? Yes. But was it fun? Also, yes. Also, the guy next to me fainted at the end of the show, which was
Oh yeah, you told me.
I don't know. That was so bad. And then it was just like me, his girlfriend, and I was like helping them because everyone left, like no one gave a fuck, and the guy was like just there, fainted, and I was like, "Do you want me to ask someone to help you?" And she was like, "Yes, please." So I guess I was useful as the single person in the theater.
Yeah, yeah. No, but there's way too much I won't say it's not like hard on discrimination, but there's still a lot of what's the correct word against like
Like
single people.
stigma. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Stigma. There's still a lot of stigma against single people. Like I saw that technically on the 15th of February, so the day after Valentine's,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
technically
single day.
Single Day Awareness. And I'm like,
What? But like awareness, that sounds as if it was like a disease, like
exactly,
cancer awareness, single day
exactly.
awareness. What the fuck?
It's like that's technically,
Like as
it
if
has
as if
the
like
intention of helping,
I
but it
know.
just stigmatizes more as if like it is a problem. You have a problem by
Yeah, as
being
if like
single.
being single is like the worst thing that could ever happen to you in your life. For fuck's sake.
It's like Awareness Day for these
These
people
poor
are all
souls.
single.
Like guys, they're walking among us, like, and you don't even notice.
Oh, that's so bad. I was like, that's not that's not a good
That's
incentive
great.
at all. Like, it's better to make Valentine's more inclusive than separate people more by
I know,
putting
like create
relationship
like a
and single
separate
ones.
day for them that's just like single people awareness.
Oh God, when I was like, I'm so glad this is not actually a thing because that's the big yikes to me. Like, that's so awful to
Imagine
do.
if you got like an email from a brand, it's like, "Are you single? Congratulations!"
Oh, do you remember those ads we saw last year for Valentine's Day? I think it was for a date. No, it was for a delivery application, like Deliveroo or Uber Eats that we saw. It was something like you delivered something on Valentine's Day and it's like, oh, you're sure are that lonely or something like that. I remember it was very
Oh
offensive.
yeah,
Do you
I remember
remember?
that. I saw that on the tube, and it was like
Yeah.
an ad for it was either like oh no, I think it was Revolut. It was
Mm,
Revolut, and they did this thing like Spotify Wrapped, like kind of like as a joke. And
okay.
it was like, oh, you spent like 14 pounds on Deliveroo like on
Mm,
Valentine's Day or something like that. And it was like, like feeling lonely much or something like that, like something very sarcastic. Oh wait, I
Yeah,
want to find it now because like it was so bad. Like I remember seeing it and literally like taking a photo and being so appalled that this is what a brand that's as big
as Revolut is. Yeah.
is. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it is just like keeping up with that stigma of being single and also blowing up Valentine's Day in like proportion, like as if Valentine's Day is such a
oh, I
big
found
thing.
it. It said to the 12,750 people who ordered a single takeaway on Valentine's Day. You okay, hun?
Oh yeah, that was the one. Oh, that's so awful.
So
That's
bad.
yeah, that's definitely I don't really
That's like
hate
single shaming, you know? That's like that's not even like
that's totally
funny.
single shaming. But like I'm not even that crazy about Valentine's Day, but this is the super toxic bad side of Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I saw it last year on the tube. It was like a massive billboard on a platform. Ah,
That's so awful. That's so awful. I hope they did better this year around, but that
yeah,
was
I remember there was like loads of articles about it and it had like a big backlash, the campaign. I mean, no wonder. It's fucked up. It's
I'm
fucked
just
up on so many levels because first of all, it was like, oh, you're tracking like what we're spending and when. And then second of all, like, why are you shaming single people?
not only they called themselves out by saying we can track everything
Yeah,
you do,
literally. It was so patronizing
expose
as
it
well.
and expose it, and then like shaming people for being single on Valentine's Day. Like
Yeah,
single
like
people already feel like shit, and then you're just gonna go like press on that, you know what I mean?
the question being like, you okay, hun? Like so patronizing.
I
You
think I know that's yeah, that's what I how do those things like pass
yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I work in a marketing agency and like we do ads all the time and shit. And I'm like, on one hand, I can see how that could have passed because sometimes I'm like really surprised how things happen. But on the other hand, like you get so many stages of approval, especially in a company as big as Revolut, to like
Revolut? Yeah, yeah,
run a like countrywide or like global wide campaign of that sort and making that your like slogan on an ad. That's just insane to me.
really off.
Single shaming is a real thing, you know, and like some people choose to be single. Like it's okay, it's fine. It's not a bad thing. It's your default state.
Yeah, yeah. I really don't get why people like shame single people because being single is just being you
Yeah,
after all.
exactly.
And when you're in a relationship, you're also just being you. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I really hate those like distinguishes and then like, you're a different kind of person if you're single from a different kind of person. If you're in a relationship as if like two different species. And I'm like, can we grow up? Can we move forward from this?
I
Because
know.
it's just ridiculous at this point. And why do we keep being this? I think what I might think about this is that, like people who also overexpose their relationship online, always sharing like, we're here, we're there, we're doing this, we're doing that. I think it just comes from a place of insecurity. I think you're more worried about being in a
Yeah.
relationship and you need to show it and you need to shame others. Oh, I'm not single. I have a relationship. I have a boyfriend or I have a girlfriend. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's very true actually.
It comes from like a point of insecurity. Like you need to prove to others that you're fine being in a relationship. But why does being in a relationship become such a synonymous of being okay? Like when I know of so many toxic relationships that it's much right for you to be alone, you know?
Literally. Yeah, that's very true. I don't know. I feel like people glorify it so much because of movies and everything. And I mean, it's amazing to be in a relationship, but it can also be really shit. And there's both
Yeah.
sides to either.
Yeah.
And there's so many different types of love you can celebrate. Like, why focus on this specific one in a sense?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anything else?
I don't know. We've just been ranting about Valentine's Day and people in general, which is pretty much our brand, not gonna lie. I'm already in my second glass of wine, by the way.
Your dad would be proud.
Hmm.
Very happy for you. Well.
No, actually, we cannot wrap up this episode yet. You have to tell everyone what was the best Valentine's that you had.
Ah, yes, it was you. That is true. My best Valentine's Day surprise was Raquel. It was after I broke up with my first, well, not really boyfriend, but I
Yeah.
guess. Well, anyways, like we broke up. I was really sad. It was tragic. And Raquel sneaky girl that she is, messaged me and was like, "Hey, can you be available at like 10? Because I want to call you about something like on Zoom or whatever." And I was like, "Sure, we can video call." And then at 10, I hear like her banging on my window. We're like, "Hello, it's me." And she came and she brought me like cinnamon buns that are my favorite. And it was so sweet that I cried. It was like one of the only times in my life that I cried happy tears. So it was very adorable and very lovely. So yeah, now any guy who ever dates me needs to top that. So I'm sorry, the bar's high.
And that is your message to support your
Exactly.
gals on this Valentine's Day because that's the superior day for Valentine's. Support your girls and show love to each other when people cannot give you love that you deserve. Go buy yourself flowers, as Miley Cyrus says.
Yes. That's the message for today. And with that, we'll leave you. And we hope you have a very lovely Valentine's Day, whoever you spend it with.
Exactly.
Bye.
Bye.